And unfortunately, who has spent far too much time in a hospital is Matthew Richardson, the star of the Richmond Football Club. How about this? In 122 games, of course, he's kicked 387 goals. He's one of the genuine superstars of the game. But since 1995, he's had a left knee reconstructed. He's had 2 broken arms, a fractured cheekbone, twice he's had surgery to repair a broken thumb, and now he's had foot ligament damage, a shocking injury to his foot, which has put him out for the season, if not longer. Please welcome the great man himself, Mr. Matthew Richardson. Richo.
Can't take a trick, mate.
Mate, you couldn't come on last week because it was that sore.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been on the, I don't know, methadone, pethidine, whatever.
Bit of morphine.
As well.
Good stuff, too.
So if you drink and drive, you're a bloody idiot, but the morphine, you're a beauty. Mate, how sore has it been, one physically and then mentally as well, the last 2 weeks for you?
Yeah, it was pretty sore, you know, for probably a week after the operation. You get home and it tends to throb a fair bit, but it's feeling pretty good now, and you're starting to move around a bit more, get down to the footy club, and I guess mentally, you know, it is hard to take when you're 4 or 5 rounds into a year and you've got to face sitting out for the rest of the season, but no, I've been through it before, so I sort of know what to look forward to, really.
Now, Matty, what about on the day or on the night? Did you realise that it was as serious as it has turned out to be?
No, certainly not.
We were there, we were watching the game, and you sort of limped off, staggered off.
Limped off, but I didn't feel that bad. I just thought, no, it might be a couple of weeks, a bit of a mid-foot sprain, as the doc sort of told me initially, but...
take us through it.
Yeah.
Take us through it, mate.
Well,
give us a bit of a rundown.
There's your joint in the middle of your foot there, basically the 2 bones that join in the big toe and the next toe. I'm not sure what they're called, mate, but they dislocated out of the joint, and the ligaments that hold those 2 toes together basically all ruptured, so I had a pretty unstable foot, obviously, to play league footy, and you need a stable foot. So
now, did we get all that at home?
You can tell
yeah, no, we'll do it again. Now, come on now. There he is. Now, go on.
That joint in there, those 2 bones dislocated out of the joint and ruptured the ligaments holding it all together there.
Beautifully
so
done,
there we
mate.
go.
Trev?
No.
I think you're looking for the technical term there, Richo. I think it's between the piggy that went to market and the one that stayed home.
Yeah, that's not
Let's we'll just have a look at the x-rays as well from Richo's foot, because 4 screws have gone in. Now that's obviously, as you can see that in graphic detail, that is the hoof. Now, Richo, there was intimation on Channel 9 News tonight that it may be even worse than the rest of the season. I mean, how in the balance is your career with this one? Because it's one that a lot of players don't come back from.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not an injury that's very common with footballers, so a lot of people haven't been through it before, but the surgeon did sort of say there's a slim chance that, you know, it mightn't come up. I guess they've got to tell you that after an operation, but they say the same thing after a knee reconstruction, so, you know, I won't be thinking of it that way, but basically I'm just looking to get back for the first game next year.
And what do you do in the meantime?
Well, play a bit of PlayStation and all that sort of stuff, watch a few videos.
And do you, sorry, were you going to...
No, you go right ahead.
Did the screws stay in forever, or they eventually come out?
They take the screws out after 4 months, and then I can start hopefully doing a little bit of running.
Richo, the side over the last couple of weeks without you, they've had a few wins, but have you seen their
game
game
style?
style?
Rub it in.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
has their game style changed, you think, without you being the main focus?
Maybe a little bit. I guess they're trying to look for some more options down there. In the last few weeks, you know, Brad Ottens has been fantastic, and Matty Rogers stepped up last week and kicked 4 goals. Brendan Gale kicked 4 goals. So I guess, if anything, it'll be a good thing. We'll find some other focal points down forward.
Will the Richmond Football Club allow you any time away to freshen your mind and just get away from the rigours and grinds of inner city life with the injury? Because, I mean, you can't walk down the street without people asking and prodding and probing. I mean, time away, is that on the cards?
Yeah, probably will be. I think I spoke to Danny through the week and he said maybe should think about heading off for a few weeks somewhere. So
overseas,
might go
a warmer
somewhere.
climate as the winter comes on.
Yeah, head somewhere
South of France.
Head somewhere for the winter, Sam, and lay back and take it easy.
And Matty, how is life on crutches? It's pretty hard moving around in those things. And
We were talking about it before. Like, you can't even make a cup of coffee and go and sit down. You've got to stand in the kitchen and have your cup of coffee, so you can't really relax or anything. But know, I'm basically sitting around waiting for people to come home and get me something to eat and drink, so it's not too bad.
Have you got someone looking after you, mate?
I've just got the family dropping around and a few good close friends looking after me.
Not Charles Manson's family, right?
No,
okay.
they're not coming around.
Good on you, mate. All right, well, let's stick with us because we're going to have a look at the sides. The Tigers, of course. Well, what about the last 2 weeks? They've come from behind. Well, they came from behind to knock over St Kilda, and then last week they did the same thing in Sydney against the Swans. It has just been a fantastic fortnight for Danny Frawley and the Richmond Football Club. Congratulations to them. And this week they're up against the old enemies, Carlton. And Richmond, Fiora, Poyas, James and Proctor. So some young boys coming in. Aaron Fiora, he was named last week as well. He's 19 years of age, new player, recruited from the Port Adelaide Magpies. Coming into the side, a few of those good young players in there. Out goes Mills, who has been suspended for 2 weeks. But, Richo, a couple of these young guys. Poyas has had a couple of games. He was recruited, young fella, good mark. Fiora, as we mentioned. Good to see Aaron James back in and Proctor as well.
Yeah, you know, we've had some good signs the last few weeks with some good young players coming through. Millsy had been good in his first few games. Unfortunately, he's been rubbed out, but, you know, Mark Chaffee started to stand up last week in the back line, and, you know, everyone's starting to just take that next step forward. So I guess it's a bit like down at Collingwood. You get the young players coming through, and it really does help the senior players out, so hopefully they can continue on this week.
And a debutant for Carlton as well. Sexton, Christou and Andrew Merrington, a 21-year-old player from St Bernard's who played reserves for Carlton in '98, missed the '99 season because he was playing cricket in England, and he's the son of former Footscray player and the current West Coast Eagles recruiting manager Gary Merrington. Did you go to school with him, Lloydie, at St Bernard's?
No, I know of him. I played cricket against him, plays down at Essendon in the cricket, and fantastic cricketer, but I watched him play at St Bernard's and destroyed the Essendon 2s a few weeks ago.
Well, he's a very good player. He's a man of many talents, both on and off the football field, and he's a good size. He'd be about 6'4". He's similar build to Neitz, if you like. And look, whether he plays or not is yet to be seen come Monday. It's a long way away, but it's going to be a huge game for the Carlton Football Club, not only because of the emotion and Parquet's 500th also, but to pay respect. We lost a member of the club, a dear member to the club, a doorman, a property steward. And doyen of the club, Ernie Lawrence, passed away during the week, so we'll certainly be thinking of Ernie when we run out against Richmond.
Okay, well, Ange Christou being back in the side as well, that's fantastic to see. Boys are coming back from injuries. Speaking of injuries, it's great to see Ange back. Yeah. Richard, just tell us a little bit about the Tigers going into this game. I mean, you've had 2 fantastic wins, but this is the big time on the MCG on Monday against the Blues. Yeah,
it's going to be a great game, Eddie. You know, hopefully all the fans get out there and it's a big crowd. I'd love to be out there, but unfortunately not. But yeah, look, I think the last few weeks there's been some good signs. You know, the stuff that we worked hard on over the summer with Danny, just some little things starting to come through. You know, we were in a bit of trouble a few weeks ago, 1 and 3, but to have 2 good wins when we've had a lot of players out injured, the club's really positive at the moment, and I'm sure this week we'll give another good account of ourselves and hopefully win 3 in a row, which will be great for the club. And Richard, you'll be doing some work for us on the Sunday Footy Show as well? Yeah, I'll be doing a little bit of work in the media hopefully this year, Eddie, and mate. I'll see what happens there. Put your hands together for one of the greats. Thank you, Richardson. Good on you, mate. Let's get the tips. Glenn, good luck. It's going to be a great game of footy. Lottie, who's going to win?
I think Carlton will win. I just want to ask Mant, your on ballers last week, Camporelli, Bradley. Has there ever been a game where your on ballers have been so dominant?
Oh, look, they had a fantastic game, but I mean, it's not just the on ballers. We've got to win as a team, and the way Richmond are playing at the moment, I think that's the only way we could possibly get across the line. 45 possessions for Camporelli. Bradley had 41 and Ratton kicked 6 goals. It wasn't a bad on-ball team. Who's going to win?
Yeah, it's just an unbelievable statistic, that one. It's an amazing game by those players. But I'm actually, even though it's a huge game for Carlton, I think I'm going to get behind Richmond this week, and their young guys, I think we'll see them through.
Sam?
Yes, I'm going with you, Nita. I think Richmond, winning form's good form. I know Carlton are going quite well, but I think the Tigers. Well, Glenn, 500 games for David Parkin. Is he still the coach?
He's still the coach. At least this week, I'm sure he'll coach 500 games. But look, 500 games, I can't say enough about the guy. He's certainly been a big influence in my career, and I know many other people, and we wish him very well for the game. Well, it's obviously going to be a very emotional week for the Carlton side with the 500 games to David Parkin and the death down at the club there. But we've gone out during the week to talk to some of the people who know David Parkin well and get their thoughts on 500 games as a senior coach.
David, congratulations on your 500th. It was a great pleasure to play